Good morning, team. How are you guys? Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday and Merry Christmas. It's been one crazy, hectic holiday season, but we're over it. We're on this side of the mountain now. I wanted to go live today and talk to you guys about reflecting on 2023 and refocusing for 2024. This last week of December, we tend to kind of be like, okay, we're done with our business because no one's buying for the holidays. But it's a really good time to still take time out for our business and kind of reflect on the year that we just had and refocus for the year that's coming. So as I look over my year, I like to ask myself a certain series of questions and kind of just see how my year went. You can pull up reports, you can look back on your sale receipts, you can look back at your months, but I like to also dive in a little bit deeper. So if you were to pull up reports, you can go month by month and see what your PRV was. If you have a team, what your team wholesale volume was, how many people were on your team at a given month. And that's all great information to have to see if your team grew or your team went smaller. Sometimes it kind of goes back and forth, right? Some months we might have like a team number that's, let's say 30, and then we go down to 27, and then we go back up to 30, and so on, right? So that's kind of a balancing game. But it's also good to know what months did I recruit? What months were best for recruiting? What kind of deals did we have? What months were the ones where my team did the highest volume? What kind of specials did we have? What catalog season were we in, right? Those are good things to know about your business to help not only yourself, but your team to know where the strengths are. Okay. When we're in this business, not everything that we do or give a try is going to work. And that's okay. Sometimes we come up with a great idea and the ROI or the return on our investment is just not there. Maybe it's too time consuming. Maybe it's cost too much money, and we're just not seeing a return on our investment. So we need to figure out where we can shift, right? So these are some of the questions I ask myself when I'm evaluating my business after I've pulled my reports and I've kind of have looked at my year. I say, what am I most proud of? What did I accomplish this year in my business that I am absolutely proud of? Is it that I earned an incentive? Is it that I earned an award? Is it that I recruited? Is it that I promoted? Is it that one of my teammates promoted? What are you most proud of, right? Where did you see success? Did you see success in home parties? Did you see success in events? Did you see success in your mailers? Did you see success in your coaching calls? Where did you see success? What worked? What are you doing that has worked? What are you able to do consistently? What are you able to do over and over, and it is working? It is getting you the results that you desire from those things. What didn't work? Maybe you had an awesome idea and it just did not work. Does not mean that we have to toss it out, okay? But what didn't work? Maybe you weren't consistent in your social media posting. Maybe you weren't successful in your follow-ups. Maybe you weren't, and when I say you, please remember that this is also going to everyone, to me. Like, this is just questions that we have to ask ourselves, right? Did I, spend more money than I wanted to on my business? Did I not stay within my budget? What didn't work? What things in your business were a return on your investment? Okay, follow-ups is a great return on your investment. right? Because it doesn't really take much time. It doesn't take anything out of your budget, but you can get orders, right? And sometimes we don't do them. I know I am horrible at follow-ups. Like, I am just so horrible. But I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to figure out how to work on my follow-ups. Maybe a good return on your investment was your thank you cards, or maybe you did postcards this year and they were really good return on your investment. What has been a good return on your investment type things in your business? What hasn't? What has not gotten you a return on your investment? Maybe you're doing mailers. Like, I used to do Happy Mail a few years ago, and I would send out mail to anyone that had ordered within the last 3 months, and that was not a good return on my investment. My customers, I don't know if it's that they just did not care for a letter in the mail, or if they maybe saw it and they just couldn't buy. I don't know. It's those questions that we just don't have answered. But I was spending a lot of money on postage, and I was not seeing a return on my investment, so I stopped. What in our business needs to be changed? Maybe this year you weren't active every month, and you're like, man, like, I really want this to work, but I'm not active every single month, so that needs to change. Or maybe you're a leader and you're not getting paid a title, and you're like, man, I'm leaving a lot of money on the table. Like, I really need to get paid a title. This needs to change. Or maybe you want to up that PRV and you're just a little hesitant to push a little bit further to get your PRV higher. Maybe that needs to change. Setting goals is meant to be scary. Setting goals, especially when you're setting goals correctly and not just saying, oh, I want a $500 a month when you are already kicking 500 out of the park, right? Can be scary because guess what? It requires you to get out of your comfort zone. It requires you to do something different than what you're doing right now. Maybe talking to a stranger, maybe asking someone to do a party, maybe asking someone to join your team. And those can be scary things. Setting goals is also scary because you're like, oh my gosh, what if I don't reach that goal? But honestly, like, there are tons of goals that I have set that I have not reached. Do I feel bad? Sometimes I'm like, man, I could have reached that goal if I would have worked a little harder. And that's kind of when I feel bad. When I know that it was my doing. When I know that I could have had control of something and I just chose not to, or I didn't focus. Maybe I was too busy with life and not with my business, right? That I might feel a little bit bad. But sometimes when I put a really big goal, like I had a huge goal this month to hit 5,000 PRV. Y'all, I'm sitting at 500. Okay? It was scary. It was really scary. And I was trying to do everything I could. I didn't do follow-ups, but I was posting. I was sharing all these ideas for gift giving. I can't control my customers. I can't control when they spend money on Scentsy, right? That's their freedom of the love that they have for Scentsy, that they buy Scentsy when they need it, right? And some of them did buy gifts, and it was amazing. Some of them shopped after the cutoff date, and they came and bought from my stock, which was great. But do I feel like a failure? No, because I did what I could to try and get there. Now, am I throwing in the towel yet? No, I still have 6 days that I can try and get as close as possible. So I'm still sharing all the ideas. I'm still sharing deals. I'm still sharing specials. I'm still trying to do what I can to try and get as close to my goal as possible, right? So when we set these goals, especially those goals that pushes outside of our comfort zone, it can be very scary because we want to be like, I don't want to fail, right? But we can't let fear hold us back. By letting fear hold us back, we are letting ourselves be held from growth. We are forcing ourselves not to grow in our business. And fear is just going to keep us in the same place, which if we are trying to set goals is because we don't like where we're at. Maybe we're content. Maybe our life is great, but we want more. And we deserve more. We deserve to be able to do all of our dreams. Good morning. So if your goal and your dreams scare you, that is great. That is amazing. That is what your dreams are supposed to do. They're supposed to scare you because, oh my gosh, how am I going to get that? Like, you can have a dream on your wall of buying the house of your dreams or buying the car of your dreams, right? But if you're not doing anything to achieve that, it is just another picture on your wall. If you have not set the goal of, I'm going to have that car by this date, and I'm going to do it by doing this, and this, that is when you set your goal in motion. That is when you put your dreams and you turn them into a goal with a plan. Okay? So it is meant to scare you. Now, do you have to take the big dive? No. Start small. Start small if you have to. Like, if your fear is holding you back because you're afraid to fail, especially, start with small goals and start one step at a time. Don't sit there and say, I want to be a star director or a superstar director by December 2024. If you're an essential consultant that is still working your way to having consistently 200 PRV each month. You are dreaming amazing things, but you're not being realistic in the timing of where you are right now and where you want to be. So you can use the acronym SMART, which I always have to look up my little thing, but it's like specific, measurable. I always forget the R. I'm in the A. I cannot do acronyms. SMART, but it's basically very specific goal. It's measurable. It's done with a timely manner. And I'll have to look up the A and the R for you guys because I can never remember those. But you have to set a specific goal. You can't just say, oh, I want my Scentsy business to succeed and I want it by, and that's all you say. Because what do you want your business to succeed in? Do you want PRV? Do you want to grow your team? Do you want to promote? Do you want to earn an incentive? Be specific on what you want to achieve out of your business, right? And then set those timely manners. I want to do this by this time. I want to achieve this by this time. Because when you do that, then you're giving yourself kind of like a deadline, right? You know by when you want to achieve it, so then now you can break down that goal. Okay. One thing that you guys really need to focus, we all do, is as we are our business owners. Yes, we do not own Scentsy, but we are independent Scentsy consultants. You are an independent consultant. You own your own business. You get the gains of your, thank you, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Thank you. I'm like, I know that one of them was realistic, and I don't know why realistic, the word was not coming to my mind. So that's what SMART goals mean. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So if you guys want to write that down, that is something that you guys can have, because I always have to write it down when I'm writing my goals. I always have to look back on it. But we are our own business owners. That means that as a business owner, I have to treat Scentsy as a business, right? And some of you guys might be like, Liz, I'm only doing this for my discount. I am only doing this part-time. That's fine. And it's perfectly fine. But that could change someday. That could change someday when maybe something in your life changes. Maybe you just see something, just like a light bulb goes off of what you want that Scentsy can help you achieve, right? Scentsy could be that vessel. And maybe that need or that want is not here right now. Okay? We've been trying to get out of debt for like the last 2 years. And many of you guys know I work at a school. many of us all know that school employees don't get paid all that great. So when I went to SFR this year, I don't know what we were talking about. I think it was at leadership. And I remember sitting there and saying, like, Scentsy is the vessel. Scentsy is the vessel that's going to get me out of debt. So I came home and I told my husband, I'm like, your job and my job pay the bills. Scentsy pays off debt. It's no longer our fun money, because right now, while we do still have fun with family and stuff, we have a goal. And it is to get out of debt, right? There's a lot of just stuff going on in the world, unforeseen, and I want to be out of debt so that I can do other things to try and save, right? So every time that I am trying to hit a goal, I remind myself of my ultimate goal, which is to get out of debt, and that Scentsy is that vessel. And it pushes me to do more because I have a goal that not only benefits me, but it benefits my whole family. So as business owners, we need to realize that we are responsible for treating Scentsy like a business. If you put Scentsy on the back burner, it's going to give you back burner type of money. If you make sure that you take time out for Scentsy, whether it is 5 minutes a day, an hour a day, whatever you can set aside, but you do it consistently, you're going to start seeing that return on your business, and you're going to start creating that habit. As a business owner, you need to set goals for your business. And if you look at any small business or multi-level, like CEO, Fortune 500 companies, they have goals. My parents run a business, and I saw this firsthand. They had a business goal that was for the year. We want to, this year we made, I don't know, let's say $300,000. Next year we want to make $500,000. Next year we want to be $1 million company. You set those goals, right? Then you break those yearly goals into quarterly goals. And then you break those quarterly goals into monthly goals. So next year, your goal might be to, at the end of 2024, you want to be a certain title, or you want to have a certain amount of PRV, or you want to make a certain amount of money. Maybe it's not even related to what Scentsy awards you. Maybe it's like, I want to be able to make $10,000 with Scentsy next year. Okay, what does that look like? How much PRV is that? How much PRV do you need to sell to make $10,000? Now break that up into quarters and break that up into monthly. And there you go. Now you have your goals for your month, for your quarter, and for your year. Let's say 1 month you fall behind. Guess what? You have 2 more months in that quarter to pick that back up and still be on your quarterly goal. That is being business minded. That is looking at your business as a business. We can go month to month just doing whatever. And I hear this all the time. I'm like, what is your monthly goal? Oh, just whatever. Just whatever is not going to get you closer to your goals. And again, maybe Scentsy for you is not what you want as a full-time business. But Scentsy can still give you or still help you achieve your life goals. Let's say you want to pay off your car. Okay, well, what extra could you send if you had a goal with Scentsy to do $200 a month PRV? That's an extra $99 payment if you're a certified consultant that you can send to your car. That times that by 12, okay, that's an extra over $1,000 you can send to your car to bring that down. Or maybe you want to go on vacation. You want to take your family on vacation. How can Scentsy give you that extra boost? Maybe you're like, okay, we want to go to, I don't know, Italy. And it's going to cost us this much. With our jobs, we can save up this much a month. Perfect. If you did a little extra with Scentsy, how much extra or how much sooner could you have it paid off? So think about that. Maybe your goal is not to become a superstar director. Maybe your goal is not to quit your job. Maybe your goal is not to earn those incentives. Maybe your goal is just to put food on your table. The economy is hard right now. So if you had a small goal of, hey, I want to have Scentsy put an extra $50 in our food budget, that would be amazing to your family. So again, it is having that business-minded thinking of breaking those goals down. Whatever your goal is, whether it's PRVs, whether it's money that you want for you and your family, whether it's a title, whether it's to grow your team by so many, to go to SFR in the summer. What does your goal look like for 2024? And then break that down by quarter. So January, February, March is the first quarter. April, May, June is the second quarter. July, August, September is the third quarter. And then October, November, December is that fourth quarter. Okay? And we all know that October, November, December are huge months. But don't leave that goal to be supported by those 3 months. Because if you do that, let's be honest, your business might not be here by October, November, December. And then your goal is down the drain. Okay? We have to break those into smaller goals. Now, once you break that into a quarterly goal, you're going to break that into a monthly goal. So then you start, okay, with January, I want to achieve this. I want to get to this in January. Or by February, I want to get to this. And then you can work on your weekly goals, on your plan. How many parties do I have? How many customers can I follow up with, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's kind of like a step stool, right? So you have your 2024 goal up here, and then you start taking one step at a time to get there, right? We can't take that leap. That's going to be impossible, okay? That, if we only focus on the end goal, which we always have to remember, but if we only focus on that, that leap is going to look so huge that before you even start sprinting towards it, you're going to give up. When I had Superstar Director as my goal, you guys, I felt like I was failing month after month after month after month when I wouldn't promote, or when I wouldn't hit my 500, or when I wouldn't get a new team member. When I made my goals a little bit smaller in the meantime, right? And I'm still working towards that. I still want to be Superstar Director someday. I still want to be able to quit my job. But I made my goals smaller towards that big goal. So, okay, what is attainable now? What is achievable, right? What is more realistic within a year? Okay. So then you're going to ask yourself, you're going to start out with, what do I want to achieve in 2024? And be honest with yourself. This is your business. You don't have to answer to anyone but yourself. You don't have to tell me what your goal is. You don't have to tell your sponsor what your goal is. What do you want to achieve in 2024? Maybe this year you weren't active every month. So the next year you're like, I want to be active every month. I want to do something with my business next year. I don't want to be a hobbyist anymore. I don't want to do this part-time. I don't want to do this only when I feel like doing Scentsy. Maybe your goal is to regain your title or get paid at title. That can be hard sometimes, okay? When I was at SFR, I knew I was going to lose my Star Director title. And so I set out to plan my goal according to where I was and where I knew I was going to be the following month. And my goal right now is to regain my Star Director title. Okay? So that's my goal, right? What do I need to do to get there? What are some smaller goals that I can put in place to keep working towards that goal, right? Where do I want my focus to be? If your goal is to promote by the end of 2024, some of those goals might be growing your team. Some of those goals might be working with your team, right? Some of those goals might be increasing your PRV so you can get paid at title when you hit that promotion. Okay? Where's your focus? Is your focus going to be on building your sales, building your team? Like, where's your focus, right? Because if you're focusing on building your team, yes, you're going to want to also have sales, but your focus is on having different conversations than what you would be having if you were just focusing on increasing your sales, right? Ask yourself, what is working right now that can help me achieve this goal? What am I doing right now that can continue me on this path? Right? Am I doing follow-ups? Am I asking people to party? Am I asking people to join? Am I working on getting paid at title? Am I working with my team? Right? Sometimes we get so happy with all these promotions, all these join promotions, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's $15 to join. It's $15 to join. And then we have people join and then we do nothing. If we're going to be a leader, right? Remember, business minded. If we're going to be a leader, we have to train that team member. If you worked at Target, right? Let's say you owned a Target store or you were the general manager, right? And you hire all these new people that have never worked for Target and you don't train them, how are you going to run a store? They're not going to know what to do. They're not going to know how to unload a truck because they're not going to know how to use their little scanning guns to tell them where everything's going. They're not going to know how to stock shelves because they're not going to know how to tell from the box where each thing goes. Okay? They're not going to know how to use the register to cash people out. Okay? And guess what? You might have a handful of people that come in and they're like, I can figure this out. I can go to the register and play around with it until I figure it out. I can take that little scanner thing and play around with it until I figure it out. But it's not going to be as many as if you took the time out to train them. You cannot motivate the unmotivated, but you can train the people that you sponsor. Give them the tools, and if they want to use those tools, great things will happen. If they choose not to, that's on them. You did your part. Okay? So as we are business-minded thinking, we got to remember that in order to promote, in order to get paid a title and keep growing our business, we have to put in that work as a business owner to train our team. This fall, I have sponsored a lot, and I have seen a lot of success because I'm taking the time out to train them, to make sure that they know about their shooting star, that they know about certified, that they know about their sensational start. And I have seen success. And I've done it a little thing at a time. I don't want to overwhelm them and have them be like, oh my gosh, what did I sign up for? Let's start out with your shooting star. You have 2 weeks, And as they're getting closer, I keep them, hey, just letting you know you're this close, you have this many days. Can I help you with anything? As they're getting ready to close out their first order, I help them, right? Help them train. For us, it comes naturally. We've been doing this for a long time. For our newer team members, it takes a little while to get used to all of those things. Okay. Last question. What do I need to change to achieve this goal? Well, if my goal is to grow my team and I'm not having any join conversations, I'm just doing party after party and get that PRV, I need to shift. I need to start offering that host exclusive kit. I need to start offering my host to join. I need to start having those join conversations, right? It's an example of where I'm going, what I'm doing, and what needs to change. Because sometimes we're not doing anything because we're so focused on, I need that PRV. I need that PRV. I need those sales. But I want to grow my team. So are our goals and our focus matching? Are they working alongside of each other? And so sometimes we need to ask ourselves, what do I need to change? Where do I need to shift? Okay. And sometimes it's hard, you guys, when you have these amazing customers and then you have them join and you're like, she used to buy so much from me. But it's easier to find customers than it is to find team members. I can guarantee you that. It is easier to find customers than it is to find team members. When I was at boot camp, I was talking to Patricia the other day, and I was telling her, she was asking about boot camp, and I said, I've been a leader for a long time, and I've been a director for a while now. And I said, so a lot of the training part of it, I already knew. So I kind of was like, oh, I know this. I know how to answer this, But they still got me to think. They still got me to ask myself some of these questions and to tell myself where I needed to shift. And I remember setting my goals, and one of my goals was to be back at Star Director before SFR. And once you set that goal, okay, now how do you make that specific goal? It has a time. How do I start working on that so that it is achievable and it can be realistic and measurable and all things? I was realizing that I'm like, I need to get new customers. But Liz, you said you want to be a Star Director. Yes. And in order to do that, I need to keep building my team. But I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't have enough customers to keep building my team. So that's where my focus went, to gaining new customers, having new conversations, getting referrals, focusing on meeting new people, getting them into my VIP page, building a relationship with them to see who is ready to start their own Scentsy business, who needs a Scentsy business in their lives, who needs, who wants financial freedom, who wants something that Scentsy can give them, and then keep growing my business. So sometimes by setting that goal and setting that time, we start seeing, okay, well, what do I need to change? What do I need to get there? You realize things that are not necessarily broken in your business, but they're not working according to your goal. So as we go through this week, which is a little bit slower week in our business, reflect on 2023. Take some time out and reflect on 2023 and say, ask yourself the questions that I asked you in the beginning and figure out what 2023 looked like for you, and then refocus for 2024. 2024 is going to be an amazing year for Scentsy. We'll be celebrating our 20th anniversary. And I know that Scentsy is going to have amazing things for us in store. And I want all of you to take advantage of all the things that Scentsy brings out to grow your business. But you need to know where you want your business to be and where you want to grow to be able to use these tools that Scentsy is going to give us in the right form, in the right action to be able to get you to your goal. So with that, I want to just tell you guys that I love all of you so much, and I'm so proud of all the things that we have celebrated this year. I'm so proud of just being able to have you guys on my team and part of our little Tinker Star Ohana. And just, I wish you guys the best. I want the best for you guys. I want you guys to achieve all of your goals and dreams. And I know that could be scary, but I'm here to cheer you on. I'm here to celebrate you when you achieve those. And I cannot wait to see what we accomplish in 2024. So with that, I will leave you guys. Talk to you guys later. Bye.